of the planet's swirling cloud tops.
Thanks so much, Michelle. Now taking it down to this planet, Earth. We are looking at the west in Canada right now. A beautiful weekend shaping up, remaining clear and mild throughout the weekend, above seasonal, gorgeous. If you're in Kelowna and Okanagan Valley, could reach up to 30 degrees. It's going to be really nice, clear in Vancouver for this afternoon. Now Monday, we're going to see this ridge dominating throughout the beginning of the week, but into Tuesday and midweek, that's really going to track in from the Pacific. A low is going to bring some precipitation, some rain. And we're going to see that throughout Tuesday and Wednesday. So if you're not getting outside this weekend, I don't know what to do with you. Now, somewhere where you might not be outside right now is Winnipeg and Northern Ontario. A thunderstorm risk for Northern Ontario right now. Now, this is just because of some instability in the atmosphere. And we're also seeing a thunderstorm risk throughout Calgary, Alberta, just around the foothills. And that's just because of some upsloping caused from a high here in Central Prairies. All right. Now this is going to taper off a little bit into Sunday. No hail associated with this thunderstorm risk. However, there are some high winds, so you want to be aware of that if you plan on having a good hair day. Up to you. All right, now the low is going to track to the east. We're seeing some rain delivered to Dolphin, Winnipeg, and that's going to be coming through Northern Ontario Sunday, delivering some rain for Ontario and Southern Ontario as that converges with a system coming up from the south as well. How much rain can we expect? That's always the big question. Throughout southern Manitoba, only some traces under 5 millimeters, but as we go a little bit more north, delivering a little bit more rain. Now, as we track it moving into Ontario, we're going to see some showers throughout Sunday and Monday. As we mentioned, that low tracking to the east as well as one tracking up from the south stateside is going to create a thunderstorm potential. Today, there is one as well through Northern Ontario, some instability in the atmosphere, strong winds and heavy rainfalls associated with this. But tomorrow we could see some isolated to severe showers throughout Windsor, and that's just because of those converging lows. Potential small-sized hail associated with this. How much rain can we expect? However, 5 to 15 millimeters. We're going to follow you up on the Atlantic provinces, but first, we're going to have a coming up segment captured Riptide Rescue with Michelle Mackey. But first, stay tuned. Your locals are coming up right now. I'm going to use one of my favorite Chris May intros because I'm going to call this toques and tank tops. Some Canadians experiencing some snow. Holy cow, it is May. And then on the west, very, very warm temperatures. Amanda Weldon along with you on this Saturday. Take a look at this, a triple point causing some havoc, some rain for Winnipeg as well as through Northern Ontario. Let's take a closer look. Sunday through Monday, some showers expected throughout all of Ontario as well as Winnipeg. And right now for today, there's a thunderstorm risk for Northern Ontario. Now, this is just caused from some instability in the atmosphere from a low tracking east as well as just some heavy rainfall and strong winds associated with this. Now, to the north, we also have, the south, we also have a thunderstorm risk, isolated to severe thunderstorms on the way for possibly Sunday as a system tracks in from stateside and mixes in with that one low that is tracking east from the prairies. Now let's take a look at how much rain we can expect, because that's always the number one question. When we see those thunderstorm risks, we're wondering how much can we expect. 5 to 15 millimeters for Toronto as we go a little bit more north into the province, expecting a little bit more rain. Now we have seen around 120 millimeters so far in May. 70 is the normal, so we could double that amount for this May. Let's take a look at the Atlantic provinces. This snow up here tracking through Labrador as well as the peninsula of Newfoundland, that's going to really affect some of your driving throughout today and tomorrow, so be careful if you're out on the roads for sure. I'm sure you still have your snow tires on if you're in Labrador. A little bit of rain for northern New Brunswick, and we're going to see that low continue to spin around. Now, there is a weather alert delivered by Environment Canada, a frost advisory from some very cold air ushering in from the north, delivering that potential. And this is a high surf warning. It's not a surge level yet, but again, some high surge. And this is what we were talking about, those roads, the potential for snow, 10 to 15 rather, that we could expect. Hey, if you do have snow, send us a photo. This is where you can find us. Thanks so much, Deb. You must be happy. It's 7+ degrees over seasonal in Calgary. You're going to see that in your local forecast if you're there in a minute and 40 seconds. But let's take a look at the broader scope of the West Coast. See this warm orange? That's just what it is, warm air coming up from the south, and these are the temperatures that we're looking at. Usually we sit around 18 to 20 degrees in these general areas, Vancouver, near the Edmonton area, Calgary, but way warmer than expected in the interior. Low mainland could even reach up to 30 degrees. Now, with these temperatures, you're going to be wondering why. Why is that happening? Well, it's because of this ridge that's building up off of the Pacific, keeping us very, very dry, and some southerly flow, warm temperatures. But look at this. That front, it always changes, right? That front is going to build in and bring some rain along Wednesday, Tuesday, into the middle of your week. Now, some thunderstorm potential is happening throughout Winnipeg as well as northern Ontario, and we're seeing that because of a low tracking from the prairies. Right here, some pop-up thunder shower potential just because of some in-day heating is causing that, as well as a high creating some upsloping on the foothills there of the Rockies. And this thunderstorm potential is actually caused from two converging lows, both of these strong winds associated with that. All right, going to taper off for sure throughout your Sunday. Again, strong winds. And this is a look at those winds. When your low moves across, it goes counterclockwise, which pulls in some cooler air. That's creating a cooler temperature for the Winnipeg area, southern Manitoba. We're going to talk about that more in your long forecast because we can predict the future here. Kristen Clare is covering our Long Ranger. It's Saturday. We're talking about your weekend, what you can expect for the beginning of the week, but take a look at this. Some very severe weather happening stateside that is going to be tracking up through southern Ontario and is going to deliver some rain and mix in with a low. Let's talk about the west right now, though, because it is a beautiful weekend shaping up the beginning of the week. Some very high temperatures above seasonal throughout Tuesday and Wednesday, going to come back down to seasonal because of a trough coming in from the Pacific, but we're not going to talk about that yet because it's going to be clear and mild all the way through Monday. Now, somewhere where it's not clear right now is Winnipeg. Rain right now as well through northern Ontario, expecting some thunderstorm risk throughout today, and then through Sunday evening more for southern Ontario, and that's that mixing with the low stateside as well from the prairies. Gusty winds. And this is what we're looking at, some showers, 5 to 15 millimeters for Toronto as we go a little bit more north in the province, expecting a little bit more rain to be delivered. But first, I want to take you outside to north. Hey, Nate, I think we're going to be sending you on some more trips this year as weather builds. Some very strong systems coming up from the south. We're going to get a lot of rain for Ontario. Depends on what you like, though, and how much you think is a lot of rain. Amanda Weldon along with you, and we're going to be talking about the high building in the west and a couple of lows tracking through central Ontario and Atlantic Canada. Let's take a look. Some more showers expected from Sunday to Monday. Rain expected for Toronto. We have a thunderstorm risk in place right now for northern Ontario for Saturday. This could be later in the evening. No hail associated with this system, however, just a low causing a little bit of instability in the atmosphere. This thunderstorm potential is for Sunday. That's for tomorrow, and it is caused by a low moving across the prairies and up from the south, really creating a lot of instability. Going to see some wall-to-wall showers for Ontario, southern Ontario for tomorrow. And again, some hail associated with that one. 15 millimeters expected for the GTA, moving up into the province, expecting more rain. So far in May, we have had around 120 millimeters of rain expected for May, around 70. We will probably double this amount. Through Atlantic Canada, that system, that low is going to track to the east, and hey, look at this blue. We're going to talk about that a little bit more after your local forecast, but hey, this is where you can find us. There's a lot of different weather happening across the country, so send us your visuals. Thanks so much, Michelle. Now, taking it down to this planet, we're going to go to the West Coast, looking like a fabulous weekend. You're probably experiencing that right now on your Saturday. Amanda Weldon along with you, and we're talking about this beautiful warm weather that is tracking in. There's a high in place that's keeping us so sunny, so dry, remaining throughout the week. Midweek could see some rain, but these are your temperatures for this afternoon. Vancouver, 23 degrees. Calgary could see some rain, 23, but for the rest, pretty much wall-to-wall sunshine on this one. All right, so this is how it's going to work out. That ridge is keeping us so dry on the west coast, and it's dominating the whole west right now, but a front will be moving in throughout Tuesday, Wednesday, midweek. That's going to bring us back down to those seasonal levels. It's going to feel cool because you've had such warm, lovely weather, but we are going to be around seasonal throughout your Tuesday and your Wednesday. Somewhere where rain has already tracked in, a prairie low delivering rain for Winnipeg and tracking to the east. So northern Ontario also experiencing this, a thunderstorm potential, a risk there in place already. And here's where we're seeing it. Some pop-up thunderstorms for Calgary up through the foothills of Alberta. And that's basically because of some upsloping, some instability in the atmosphere, and two lows converging, causing this thunderstorm risk today for Manitoba as well as Northern Ontario. Strong risks associated with that. Tomorrow it's going to change a little bit. That's going to taper down throughout the foothills, and this is also going to get a little bit smaller. Strong winds still going to be happening, and this is how those winds are going to be moving. A northerly flow rather, delivering some cooler temperatures. Winnipeg right now, you're a bit below seasonal, but don't worry, that warm temperature that your neighbors are experiencing will track to you a little bit later in the week. Now, this is the amount of rain that you can expect. Traces under 5 millimeters for Dolphin, Winnipeg, southern Manitoba, as we go a little bit more north, delivering a little bit more rain. Now, to the east a little bit, in through Ontario. Also some showers delivered through Sunday and Monday, and that's because of that prairie low tracking to the east, as well as some energy coming up from the south. And that's going to be causing this thunderstorm risk that we talked about throughout your Saturday. So, captured. One of our newest segments coming up next in this segment, Riptide Rescue with Michelle Mackey. Thanks so much, Chrissy. A great thing to keep note, because if you're on the coast in the west, you're going to have a great weekend, so you might be out by the water. Now, look at this. That's going to be tracking up from the south, but again, like we just mentioned, the west, so let's talk about it. Warm temperatures remaining throughout the beginning of the week, throughout the weekend. It's going to be absolutely stunning. If you're in Calgary, Vancouver, get outside somewhere where it's a completely different story. Probably raining right now. Winnipeg, up through northern Ontario, some showers, thunderstorm risk as well throughout today, tomorrow for southern Ontario. There are two systems tracking across, a low from the prairies and that one stateside that we saw in that beginning slide there. Those are converging. That's going to be causing the potential for thunderstorm risk, and some showers are going to be remaining throughout Sunday and your Monday. Now let's take a look at how this all shapes up. It's a lot of stuff going on here, so we'll break it down. A high in the west, clear, beautiful, and look at this, a triple point, an occluded front, warm front, cold front, all coming together, creating really great ingredients for that thunderstorm risk. That's what we're seeing today. And then out through Atlantic provinces, some blue snow on the way. Potential for Labrador as well as the peninsula of Newfoundland. All right, these are overnight forecasts. Vancouver, 14 degrees, really nice. Winnipeg, that's where we're seeing some of the showers starting in the prairies. 11 degrees below seasonal, but that's okay. It is going to be warming up in Winnipeg as that warm air tracks to the east. Throughout Sunday, still a lot of action happening throughout Ontario and the prairies. All right, coming up in your local forecast, lightning strikes in Little Smoky, Alberta. When we're talking about frequently asked questions at the Weather Network, usually it's, what's my summer going to look like? Amanda Weldon along with you. Your summer forecast is coming up in 30 seconds. Don't go anywhere. This is what it looks like right now across the country. Vancouver, 20 degrees, nice and sunny. Winnipeg, showers moving in, 19 degrees, some cloud cover. Toronto, cloud cover as well, 16. And out near St. John's, below seasonal, 0 degrees with cloud cover. All right, Edmonton, 20. It has been very clear in Alberta and Saskatchewan today. Ottawa, cloud cover, 19 degrees. Gander, 5 degrees. Hey, if you're just tuning in, you're in luck, because our summer forecast continues right after this. But right now we're taking a glance at what the forecast looks this evening. Calgary, some cloud cover, 19, a great weekend in plan for you. Toronto, cloud cover, 16. Winnipeg, some showers moving in, 19 degrees. Vancouver, sunny, sunny, sunny. Following suit with Prince George, 22 degrees. Victoria, 20 as well. Gander, 5 degrees and some cloud cover. And hey, look at these totals as well. Churchill, rain, 5 degrees. North Bay, cloud cover, 18. Hamilton, following suit with that. Hey guys, Amanda here, and I have an awesome hack for you if you want to get rid of those mosquitoes this summer around your seating area. 2 household ingredients, a lime and some cloves. Cut that lime in half and just stick the cloves inside the citrusy part, and it's going to look like that. Put that wherever you're sitting, and it's going to keep you mosquito-free on your patio this summer.